Welcome to This Explainer, brought to you by Forge College. Today, we are shifting your mindset. We're moving you away from being a chaotic, caffeine-fueled hacker and turning you into a meticulous forensic detective. Now, in our previous explainer, we dug into composed attack vectors and race chaining, right? We looked at how to chain a reentrancy-enabled function with an external call. We basically broke the contract and created a transient state window to exploit. And let's be honest, it's an amazing feeling to break a contract. But here's the reality check. Pulling off that exploit in your own cozy test environment? Yeah, that's really only half the battle.
So, you successfully pulled off the heist using race chaining. The funds are totally drained, the code is broken, and you are naturally feeling like an absolute genius. But in the high-stakes world of smart contract security, pulling off the hack just isn't enough. Look, a competent tester can break a contract, sure, but a professional reviewer, they could profile and explain that exploit so clearly that an auditor can act on it immediately. You literally have to prove exactly how it happened, step by microscopic step. You have to show the precise state transitions that triggered the vulnerability. Because without proof, well, it's just a cool story. With proof, it becomes a defensible, critical audit finding.
So here is our investigator's checklist for today. 1. Hacker to detective. 2. Securing the crime scene. 3. Before and after evidence. 4. Spotting the MO. 5. Building the report. And 6. Audit prep. Let's get right to work.
Section 1. Hacker to detective.
Section 2. Securing the crime scene.
Every good detective knows you've got to lock down the area before the evidence gets corrupted. Think of a transaction trace as your absolute best microscopic security camera footage. It doesn't just show the thief walking into the bank, right? It shows every single footstep, the exact angle they turned the vault dial, and the precise millisecond that lock clicked open. In Ethereum terms, this trace captures every executed opcode, things like your calls and SS stores, and every single call frame during a transaction.
Extracting this trace is really just a mechanical process, but honestly, it requires the discipline of a monk. First off, you start your local Hardhat node, and you keep it running. Second, you run a reproduction script that sends the exact same transactions in the exact same order every single time. And third, save those resulting traces as JSON files. You grab the transaction hash, request a debug trace using your RPC provider, and save it down. Reproducibility is absolutely your highest priority here, no exceptions.
Section 3. Before and after evidence.
Now, having security footage showing the attacker's every move is fantastic, but we also need to see the physical damage. And that brings us to the state delta. A state delta basically acts as our before and after photo of the bank vault. It documents the exact changes in specific storage slots and account balances. What you do is define checkpoints immediately before and after each transaction, and then you sample the network using commands like provider.getStorageAt and provider.getBalance.
By comparing these precise storage and balance changes side by side, you're creating undeniable, concrete proof of exactly how the contract's invariants were violated. On one side, before the transaction hits, everything looks totally normal. On the other side, we see the complete aftermath. The balance is drained, and slot 0 is maliciously altered. When you tie a trace snippet to this exact state delta, there's just no way an auditor can argue with your findings. It's an open and shut case.
Section 4. Spotting the MO.
So now that we have our raw traces and deltas in hand, we need to comb through them to find the attacker's modus operandi. This process maps raw JSON fields directly into a detective's cheat sheet, basically translating raw data into the critical questions you absolutely must ask. When you see the op field, ask yourself, does this opcode alter storage? When you see 2, ask, is this destination an untrusted external address? When you're looking at storage, ask, which invariant did this write just break? This simple, methodical mapping is exactly how you uncover unsafe ordering.
When you spot a pattern that answers those questions, you want to annotate it in plain language. For example, you might write, storage write to owner immediately after an external call from an untrusted address. Creating a reusable behavioral signature like this clearly proves the race condition to whoever is reading the report. Plus, it gives you a recognizable, highly specific pattern to hunt for in future smart contract audits.
Okay, let's talk about a modern shortcut everyone loves right now, vibe coding with AI. While it's a great tool for drafting these annotations, and it's a technique we actually cover in our broader Forge College programs, you have to treat the AI like an overly eager rookie detective. It means well, but it hallucinates. A lot. The human detective, that's you, must manually verify every single AI claim against the actual JSON trace and state deltas. Never ever submit unverified AI vibes to a senior auditor. Unless, you really enjoy getting fired.
Section 5. Building the report.
All right, with our evidence properly and manually verified, it is time to file the official police report so the lead auditors can quickly reproduce your work. A professional debug report directory has to contain these 4 exact files. First, a tiny foolproof reproduction script. Second, the saved trace JSON files tied to the specific exploit steps. Third, the state deltas JSON showing the exact storage changes. And finally, a human-readable annotated markdown report summarizing your findings. Sticking to this specific structure ensures your findings are completely defensible.
Inside that report, you really need to prioritize your vulnerabilities using an exploitability rubric. Auditors are incredibly busy people, so tell them what matters most. An exploit that requires very few preconditions to execute, meaning it's super easy for an attacker to pull off in the wild, backed by clean, undeniable trace evidence, automatically gets the highest severity rating. Rank them clearly and rank them objectively.
And finally, Section 6. Audit prep. We have to prep this meticulously crafted report for the ultimate handoff, the Capstone Secure Contract Audit. But before you submit that folder, do a final sweep. Ensure all your reproducible commands actually work on a completely fresh local node start. Gather the contract ABIs and compiler storage layouts so auditors can easily cross-reference your findings. And please, for the love of Web3, scrub any accidental private keys from your scripts. Early cleanup is professional cleanup.
Take a moment right now to review your tracelink state deltas. Ask yourself, does this report prove the exploit so clearly that even a complete beginner could understand it? Because if it doesn't, well, it's just not ready. When you feel you're ready to master the Capstone audit and take these skills to the absolute highest level, make sure to visit forge.college to continue your Web3 security journey. Dig into our other courses, connect with the community, and keep building that detective mindset. Thanks for watching this explainer, brought to you by Forge College. Now, go out there and catch some bugs before they catch you.